Have you ever caught yourself pointing out someone's flaws, maybe a friend who's always late, or a colleague who never meets deadlines, only to realize that your criticism didn't bring you any closer to feeling better? We all do it. Finding faults in others can almost feel like a habit, something we slip into without thinking. But what if, instead of focusing on what others are doing wrong, you could use that energy to grow and become better yourself? Today, I'm going to share the tools and mindset you need to shift your focus from judging others to building a better version of you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to start this journey. Let's dive in. Self-improvement, it's a word that gets thrown around a lot these days, but what does it really mean? At its core, self-improvement is about becoming more aware of your thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, and taking steps to better them. It's about evolving into the person you've always wanted to be, one habit and mindset shift at a time. But there's a common trap that many of us fall into. Instead of looking inward, we spend time critiquing others. It's often easier to point out the flaws in our friends, family, or coworkers than to reflect on our own behavior. But why does this happen? Why do we feel compelled to criticize others? One reason is that it's a defense mechanism. When we focus on the flaws of others, we avoid having to face our own insecurities and imperfections. It can also be a way of feeling superior, even if only temporarily. But ultimately, this habit doesn't lead to happiness, it leads to a cycle of negativity. Imagine if, instead of letting your energy spiral into criticism, you could channel it into learning a new skill, building stronger relationships, or simply becoming more at peace with yourself. Sounds a lot more rewarding, right? That's why today, we're talking about how to flip this mindset on its head. Before we can begin to make these changes, it's important to set the foundation with the right mindset. Here's what you'll need: openness to change. Change can be uncomfortable. It requires letting go of old habits and beliefs that have been a part of you for years. You might find yourself resisting at first, but remind yourself, discomfort is often a sign that growth is happening. Think of it like the soreness after a good workout. It's a sign you're building something stronger. Willingness to reflect. Self-reflection isn't always easy. It's hard to look in the mirror and acknowledge where you might be falling short. It's about asking yourself questions like, why does that person's behavior bother me so much? Or what does my reaction say about me? But with time, this process can become incredibly liberating, helping you see yourself with honesty and compassion. Commitment to personal development. This journey isn't about quick fixes. It's about making consistent efforts to better yourself. Whether it's setting time aside each week to read, meditate, or practice a new skill, consistency is key. Think of it like planting a tree. You won't see the results overnight, but with patience, growth will come. With these mindsets in place, you'll be ready to shift your focus from criticizing others to improving yourself. Now, let's break down the steps to make this change. Let's dive into the step-by-step guide to help you redirect your focus from others' faults to your personal growth. This is where the real work begins. Step 1. Recognize when you're finding faults in others. Start by observing your thoughts and conversations. Notice when you're drawn to negative comments or when you start comparing yourself to others. A good exercise is to keep a judgment journal for a week. Each time you catch yourself thinking or saying something critical about someone, jot it down. What triggered it? How did it make you feel? Over time, you might notice patterns like specific situations or emotions that make you more prone to judgment. Step 2. Redirect that energy towards self-reflection. The next time you find yourself annoyed with someone, pause and ask yourself, why does this matter to me? Often, we're bothered by traits in others that we haven't fully accepted in ourselves. For example, if you're annoyed by a coworker's tendency to procrastinate, reflect on whether you also struggle with procrastination in certain areas of your life. This isn't about blaming yourself, it's about understanding and using that awareness to grow. Step 3. Turn reflection into action. Make a list of the qualities you admire and want to cultivate in yourself. For instance, if you respect people who remain calm under pressure, think about how you can practice that in your own life. Start small. Each week, pick one trait to work on and make it your focus. Keep track of your progress and celebrate small wins. It could be as simple as spending 10 minutes each morning reading about a new topic or taking a few deep breaths before reacting to stressful situations. Step 4. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools to shift your mindset. When we're grateful, we're less likely to judge others harshly. Try this exercise every morning. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as simple as a warm cup of coffee or a friend's smile. This simple habit rewires your brain to focus on the positive. Step 5. Seek feedback from others. Constructive feedback from trusted friends or mentors can provide insights into your blind spots. Approach someone you trust and ask, "What's one thing you think I could work on to improve myself?" It's not easy to hear, but it can be a game changer. Now, let's walk through a few examples of how these concepts play out in real life. Imagine you're frustrated with a friend who always seems to dominate conversations. Instead of focusing on their behavior, ask yourself, do I sometimes struggle to express my own thoughts? Use this as an opportunity to become a better listener and perhaps find new ways to communicate more assertively when needed. Another common situation is dealing with a partner or roommate who is messy. It's easy to feel irritated and nag them, but instead, you might ask, what does their messiness trigger in me? Is it a need for control, or is it reminding me of something I haven't addressed in my own space? This shift can lead to more constructive conversations and a healthier relationship dynamic. Here are a few more tips to stay on track. Practice active listening. Instead of focusing on how you might respond during a conversation, focus on truly understanding the other person's perspective. This can prevent the urge to criticize and promote empathy. Daily affirmations. Remind yourself daily that your growth is your responsibility. Write affirmations like, "I focus on my own growth, not others' mistakes." Repeating these daily can reshape your thought patterns. Reframe criticism into curiosity. When you find yourself being critical, turn it into a question. Instead of thinking, "Why is she so disorganized?" ask yourself, "I wonder what's contributing to her behavior." This shift can make you more compassionate and open-minded. Every journey comes with challenges. Here's how to tackle a few common hurdles. Challenge 1. Difficulty breaking the habit of criticism. This habit can be deeply ingrained, but don't get discouraged. Practice replacing critical thoughts with compassionate ones. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "He's so lazy," try reframing it to, "Maybe he's struggling with something I don't know about." Challenge 2. Feeling overwhelmed by self-reflection. Self-reflection is intense. Set limits for yourself, like reflecting for 10 minutes at the end of each day. It's important to be kind to yourself during this process. Challenge 3. Relapse into old patterns. If you catch yourself slipping back into criticism, don't be too hard on yourself. Acknowledge the slip up and remind yourself that it's a part of the process. With time, the instances will become less frequent. Today, we've covered a lot, from recognizing the habit of fault-finding to turning that energy into self-growth. Remember, every time you resist the urge to judge someone else, you're taking a step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Self-improvement is a lifelong journey, but every small step you take brings you closer to a more peaceful, fulfilling life. If you're ready to try these techniques, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're working on this week. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content on self-improvement and personal growth. I've also linked another video here that dives deeper into building self-discipline. Check it out for more tools to empower your journey. Until next time, keep growing and take care.